Top 20 HEB interview questions and answers. You have definitely heard of HEB, which happens to be one of the most successful supermarket chains in the United States. This article will look at some of the questions you should expect in an HEB interview if your application goes through. Take a look at the following. 1. What do you know about us? What can you tell the interviewer about HEB? This is a chance to give out all the information you know about this supermarket chain and convince the interviewer that you understand your potential employer. Make sure that everything you mention is factual. Sample answer. HEB, which stands for Howard E. Butt, is an American supermarket chain headquartered in San Antonio, Texas. It has more than 300 stores in Texas and northeastern Mexico. It produces many of its own brand products such as milk, bread, ice cream, and snacks. 2. Why do you want to work for us? You are definitely used to this question now. Your real intentions will tell the interviewer whether you will be a good fit for the organization or not. Remember to mention how you will be helpful to the establishment if given a chance. Your answer should convince the interviewer that you are genuine. Sample answer. I love the products and services I receive at your establishment and would be delighted to represent you. I am also a great fan of your work and particularly love that you donate 5 to 6% of your pre-tax profits to charity. 3. What hours can you work? This is a common question in retail and hospitality interviews. The interviewer will always want to know about your availability. Try to be as flexible as possible when answering this question and convince the interviewer that you can work long hours and shifts. You should also comment about working on weekends and during the holidays. Sample answer. I believe that I am a very flexible person. I can therefore work any shifts and even overtime if the need arises. I also understand that I may have to work on weekends and during the holidays, which I am prepared for. 4. What do you like most about your previous job? As much as this sounds like an honest question, it may be quite challenging to answer since the things you loved about your last job say more about the type of employee you are. Try not to be specific to avoid tying or cornering yourself. This shouldn't be hard to answer. Sample answer. I loved my last job a lot. I enjoyed everything about it, from the workplace culture to the management. It gave me a chance to learn everything that I could and also prepared me for newer challenges. You can also be honest with the interviewer and point out what you didn't like. Just ensure that you give good, credible reasons. 5. Why did you leave your last job? This question shouldn't be hard to answer, especially considering that you have tackled the previous one. It would be best if you gave credible reasons. However, please refrain from talking negatively about your former workplace since it says more about your personality. You also need to be honest with the interviewer since a simple background check will reveal the real reasons. Sample answer. After working for 5 years in my groomer job, I felt that I needed new challenges. I therefore left to give another person a chance to learn a few things about the industry as I looked for a place that could expose me to new challenges. I am glad that this company will do that for me. 6. What will you bring to this job? You need to review the job description and identify the skills required before you answer this question. Afterward, match these skills to those acquired in your last job and convince the interviewer that you can bring them on board. Make sure that whatever you mention is relevant to the job you are interviewing for. Sample answer. I have vast experience in this field, which I am willing to bring on board. I am ready to use all my expertise and the skills I acquired in my previous job to succeed in this position. I also have several positive attributes that will help me perform exceedingly well. 7. Have you ever gone above and beyond for a customer? The interviewer will always want to know if you can do everything possible to make customers satisfied. Remember, how you treat them is crucial as it dictates whether they will be coming back or not. Give an experience where you went all out to help a customer. It doesn't have to be part of your job description. Sample answer. I once noticed that one of the customers didn't have an umbrella and therefore couldn't leave the restaurant since it'd be raining at the time. I walked over to the old lady, helped her out of her seat, and led her to the car with my umbrella. She was elated and became a regular customer afterward. 8. Define excellent customer service. You should expect such a question, especially if the business is centered around dealing with customers. What do you understand by excellent customer service? Your definition will tell the interviewer that you know what is required from you and will uphold it in the workplace. Be as straightforward as possible. Sample answer. Excellent customer service is making the customer feel appreciated and willing to come back. It means ensuring that they don't wait for long at checkout, keeping the store clean on the inside and outside, ensuring that the inventory is well stocked, and offering friendly and helpful services. You should answer this question from a customer's perspective. 9. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Interviewers usually ask this question to learn more about your goals and ambitions. Are you a good fit for the industry? We advise you to look at other jobs in retail and identify a position that you see yourself doing in 5 years. You can also explain how working here will help you reach your career goals. Sample answer. I'm still in college at the moment. I intend to finish and, if possible, come back to work here if I get the job. As for the next 5 years, let's just say that I prefer to focus more on the present rather than the future. However, I hope that I will have obtained practical experience and insight by then. 10. Why should we hire you? This is a chance to convince the interviewer that you deserve the position you are interviewing for. You should find the experience and skills needed to excel in this position if you intend to answer this question well. Afterward, convince the interviewer that you have what it takes to excel and live up to the job description. Sample answer. I have vast experience in retail and inventory management, which will help me excel in this position. I have been working in retail for the last 7 years and acquired many relevant skills that I will use if I am employed here. I am also a team player and can communicate well. Tell the interviewer that you have all the qualities required in this job. 11. Have you ever made an error due to a breakdown in communication? Mistakes will happen occasionally. We all make them since we are humans. Tell the interviewer about a particular experience and how you resolve the situation. You can also point out that you haven't had an experience and narrate what you would do if it ever happens. This shouldn't be hard to answer. Sample answer. I once misread an email from my subordinates. It had punctuation mistakes, and I also missed the tone completely. I had a conversation with the employee, who clarified her intention and made me see my mistake. We agreed on using more verbal communication to prevent such occurrences. 12. Do you think that our market is competitive? The interviewer is gauging how well you understand the market you intend to work in. Your answer should reveal your interest and enthusiasm. Remember, you can only help the potential employer thrive if you know what you will be dealing with. Therefore, think through your answer and make a sober observation. Sample answer. I know that this industry is highly competitive. There are lots of supermarket chains dealing with the same products. However, I believe that you stand out from the crowd thanks to your work culture, charitable works, and ways of operation. I will be happy if given a chance to be a part of your team. 13. Do you have reliable transportation? Nobody expects you to drive to work. However, you need to have a form of reliable transportation to ensure that you come to the job on time and regularly. You can share with the interviewer if you ride a bike or walk to work. Just convince them that you will be punctual. Remember, nobody wants excuses and flimsy reasons for being late to work. Sample answer. Even though I take public transit, I find it highly reliable. I wake up early, attend to a few house chores, and catch my bus on time. I was late to work only twice in my previous role due to an accident that saw part of the main road blocked. I can assure you that I will always come to work on time. I'm also working on getting a car, which will make my transportation more reliable. 14. What are you looking for? A long or short-term employment opportunity. This grocery store believes in investing in its employees, which will be all in vain if you won't last for long. It would be best to convince the interviewer that you are willing to return the favor through a long-term commitment. Your answer shouldn't give the employer the notion that you intend to use the opportunity as a transient stepping stone. Sample answer. I'm looking for a long-term commitment, as captured in my resume. I don't believe in hopping from one job to the other. You can see in my resume that I last long in my places of work engagement. I am willing to serve you for an extended period if given a chance. However, make it known if you are still in school and wouldn't, therefore, last longer in the workplace. Most employees understand. 15. What motivates you? This is an equally important question that you should be ready to answer in your interview. Where do you draw your motivation from? Do not give a material reason, such as money, since nobody will employ you knowing that you are materialistic. Convince the interviewer that you will always be motivated when working for this entity. Sample answer. My passion for this job gives me the motivation I need to keep coming to work every day. I love the fact that I get to meet new people and help give them memorable experiences. I also know that my fellow employees expect a lot from me, which motivates me to give my all and be at my best. Alternatively, you can tell the interviewer that your motivation comes from your life of success. Make sure that you explain further. 16. Describe your working relationship with your former colleagues. The interviewer wants to know if you are a team worker. Can you get along well with your teammates? Be as honest as possible with the interviewer, since a simple call can reveal what you are lying about. You should convince him or her that you won't have a hard time getting along with another employee. Sample answer. I had a wonderful working relationship with my former colleagues. We all knew what was expected from us and gave our all to better our customers' experiences. We also supported one another outside work and even had a group where we would share ideas and check up on one another. Desist from mentioning anything negative about your former colleagues. Negatively talking about them says a lot about your personality. Nobody wants someone who will badmouth them if things don't turn out well. 17. What is your greatest weakness? This is a chance to tell the interviewer what your greatest shortcoming is. Do not shy away from answering this question, fearing that you will come off as inadequate. However, mention a weakness that is not harmful to the job description or risk losing your chance. Accepting that you have a weakness also shows that you are confident. Sample answer. My greatest weakness is my unreadiness to ask for help. I usually believe that I am capable and can find solutions to every challenge I face. It may therefore take a lot of time before admitting that I need help. However, I am working on this weakness by being more open to seeking help. 18. What is your greatest strength? This is a follow-up question is asked immediately after the last one. Ensure that you mention a strength that is relevant to the job you are interviewing for. You need to convince the interviewer that you are qualified for the particular role. Therefore, look at the job description and identify what is needed. Sample answer. My greatest strength lies in the people skills that I possess. I can lead useful conversations and help customers around the store. It also means that I can respond to different calls and requests. All in all, ensure that you mention something critical to the job. You need to come off as adequate and able to deliver. 19. How would you handle a dissatisfied customer? The interviewer needs to know if you can cater to all types of customers. Remember, supermarket chain stores such as H-E-B rely on their customers to beat the competition. You should have the customer's interest at heart all the time. Convince the interviewer that you won't have a problem dealing with such customers. You can also draw from your trimer experiences when answering this question. Sample answer. I have dealt with a number of dissatisfied customers in my career before. The best way of handling them is finding what didn't appeal to them, apologizing, and working on finding solutions. One also needs to show empathy and convince them that their plight is understood. It works when a customer feels appreciated. Your answer should show that you have the customer's interests at heart all the time. 20. Do you have any experience in this field? The interviewer wants to know of any jobs or related roles that you have held or played in this field. Make sure that whatever you mention is relevant. Also, be honest if you have none. Sample answer. I don't have any experience in this field, since this is my first attempt and I just finished college. However, I'm a first learner. You'll use fewer resources and time training me. Conclusion. These are some of the common questions that you should expect in an H-E-B interview. Ensure that you read this article thoroughly and have all the answers at your fingertips to increase your chances of landing the job. Also, work on your interviewing skills and make an excellent first impression during the interview.